Pleased to meet you. This is Fixed and Folded, the knife review channel for the casual knife collector. I'm Cody, and I'm going to be reviewing MCUSTA Folding Knife Company. This knife. Got this knife 5 years ago from my local store in Calgary, Kent of Inglewood. We still have a couple MCUSTA models available, and there's also about 20 models of MCUSTA knives available from bladescanada.com. Prices range from $190 to $500 for the top of the line one. Average price of MCUSTA knives is about $250 Canadian. This is two different MCUSTA knives. I decided that this handle, this ironwood handle, matches this Sanmai Tanto blade perfectly. So I took a Tanto blade from one MCUSTA knife and I put it on this ironwood handle, and really happy with how this one turned out. I have extra large hands, and this is a medium knife. There's a little bit of real estate poking out the back here, and same thing with my medium Benchmade bug out. So both handle is a little bit on the thick side. This is very well executed, smoothed handle with no hot spots. The little finger spots that they sanded match my finger placement perfectly. So I lucked out for that. Super comfortable. There's no jimping except right here on the liner lock, which is pretty aggressive, but it's for actual hand security. This finger area does a good job. I'd say medium hand security. So I would do light to medium tasks with this. Heavy duty tasks might slip off. The flip side of possibly slipping off is just that the handle comfort is very good. There's no skeletonizing in the liners. They're full steel liners. And you have a deep carry pocket clip, which works very well. The very bottom of this finger groove is where the bill begins, so you have a good amount of space to catch your pocket material. And rides really nicely down, fully hidden in the pocket. The weight is medium. For a medium-sized knife, you won't forget that this is in your pocket, but it's also not overly cumbersome. You have T6 screws in the body, and you have, what is this, a Phillips head? I don't remember what the slatty thing is called, but you have a screwdriver slot for the pivot screw, and the pivot material is nylon. And the action is, it's not loose at all. It won't drop shut. It's like a nice medium satisfying tension, which is the same kind of tension as the liner itself. It's a sort of a medium tension, but it's smooth, and so it's tactile and satisfying to use. To get the action satisfying like this, the blade isn't perfectly centered, but at the same time, the edges don't rub against the frame. And that's just how it is. It was the same with my other MCUSTA knife. To get it perfectly centered, then the blade locks up. You can't open it. And then to get it, fall shut, then the blade's going to rub up against the frame. So you got to do the compromise setup. The position of the thumb stud is very good. You have these nice rounded off barrel spacers, and the thumb stud does not get in the way of the cutting path, so utility is good there. Blade design, you have sort of a variation of a Tanto, and the cutting edge out of the box is very sharp. The blade is on the thick side, and then just on the last 20-25%, it tapers down to a fine point. You have a neat Sanmai construction. I can see the core separate from the slabs when I look down on it, and then you can see here, I guess this is a Hammond line. If it's not a Hammond line, feel free to correct me, but below this is where the core, the hard core is, and above that is the softer sides. And the reason why sanmai is so that even if the harder center chips, it's not going to crack the whole blade. The softer slabs are going to help prevent the entire blade from cracking, and you'll just get a chip. And happy offshoot of that is you get this beautiful line here delineating the hardcore from the softer slabs. The material is VG10, made in Seki City, Japan. And it just feels really nice. The quality, there's no blade play left, right, up and down. This one, these were both around $220, $230, so this knife is, around the $220, $230 mark. You can't get them exactly like this. This is a different blade on the handle, but the actual blade that came with this handle is basically the same. It just doesn't have the sanmai. It's just one solid core of VG10 or solid slab. Overall, I'll give this a grade of B+. The utility isn't going to be as slicey as like a typical Spyderco knife that has a tall blade that's full flat. But at the same time, this is still good for doing EDC tasks, cutting tags, opening boxes, perfectly utilitarian in that regard. This is in between a high saber grind and a standard saber grind. This is like 2/3 up before you get to the full thickness. You do have, if you're going to be, when you sharpen this, you got to sharpen this flat and then the tip separately because it's a tanto, but it's no big deal. MCUSTA has, all their knives have a distinct design to them that to me looks, with the tanto design and whatever, it's distinctly Japanese looking. This is a common handle design in different materials, often woods, but you can get other materials too. So if you have knife collector friends and you like this design, then I recommend you get one of these because they're distinctive and unique, and you'll stand out among your friends. If you don't like this design or style, then these knives aren't for you because they're not just utilitarian. They're also, the style is a major factor with MCUSTA knives. So yeah, overall, I give this knife a grade of B+. It's a good knife. If you like the design, get one. If you don't like the design, definitely don't get one. But it's a good folding knife. That concludes my review of MCUSTA folding knives, and I hope you have a great day. I will talk to you again soon.